for the fight fan joining us and the millions watching around the world. Out of the red corner.
Yes, ladies and gents, welcome back to In The Red Korner podcast with me, Ross. I hope everyone's well this evening. What a weekend it was. Some unbelievable fights. Some fights did go the way, some fights didn't. But that's bare knuckle for you, isn't it? Unbelievable show, though. And the attendance that was there, sellout show. And the atmosphere was electric. It was unbelievable. But tonight, we move on to the next thing. We've got the BKFC Tryouts coming up at Diesel Gym in London, December 2nd, and it's going to be hosted by two of the best bare knuckle boxers to come out, or bare knuckle fighters to come out of this country, in Connor Tini and James Lights Out Lilley. So tonight, making his debut in the red corner, Connor Tini. Yes, Connor, how are you doing?
Yes, mate, I'm all right, yeah.
Yeah, good, my man. Good to speak to you. How are you doing?
I know, it's my debut. I just realised that when you said this is the first time I've ever been on this podcast.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talk occasionally, or, on Instagram and things, but yeah, what's took so long? Where have you been?
Because I'm very like, if I'm not fighting or I ain't close to a fight, I've tried to distance myself from bare knuckle and getting involved with it. Do you know what I mean? I speak in the background to people, but that is it. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm starting to get the itch now and the hunger, and I haven't had this hunger for like over a year. I haven't had this hunger since when I fought fucking Jeremiah Riggs. Like I'm starting to I'm keeping in shape and that now. So yeah, I'm starting to I want to get back in there.
Excellent. It'd be brilliant to see you back in there. Obviously, it won't be until 2024 now. And like I say, we've got these tryouts coming up with you and James Lee. James Lee's supposed to be on the podcast tonight, but he's at the Christmas fair with his kids. He's going to jump on in a little while, he said. So I hope he jumps on. BKFC Tryouts coming up. London, December 2nd. I'll get it scrolling across the bottom. You can register at bkfc.com/tryouts if you think you've got what it takes. So what do you need? What do you need to become a bare knuckle boxer in the BKFC?
Fists.
They're a bit of a help.
You've got no hands, mate. I don't think you'll be able to fight. So I don't think they can take amputees, mate. That I've got missing the hands.
It's more than just fists, isn't it? What I'm looking for, when we were talking off camera before, I want someone similar to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's got the confidence board, the wow factor. It is the board, the confidence,
the sense of humour, the cock. I sound like I'm fucking advertising porn stars now.
You can get Connor on OnlyFans, by the way, everyone.
Punch in the bags. That's it, mate. But literally, yeah, no. What these lads need to see, and females if there isn't there, we need talkers, we need walkers, we need entertainment. You know what I mean? We need people that are going to walk the walk, talk the talk, create the buzz, create the hype, and they've got to have some fans and some backing. You know, and there's too many people out there that are, quarters of dormouse. They've got 5 or 6 people that know who they are. They can't sell 2 tickets, but they want to make it as a bare knuckle fighter. And to make it as a bare knuckle fighter, you've got to be popular. Whether you're hated or loved, people have got to tune in to watch you, or they want to come and watch you. So you've got to sell tickets at the start of your career, and you've got to have something about it. You've got to have some of the pizzazz, some of that nice pizzazz, that wow factor. Like the McGregor Fury sort of. Do you know what I mean? Being able to talk the talk, create a bit of commotion in the scene, and then jump in a ring and smash fuck out of someone.
Yeah, definitely. Like people's social media. I mean, your social media has me fucking in stitches a lot of the time, saying you're going to punch someone's nan and stuff like that, get your nan in a headlock and all that. I'm creased up when I'm seeing it, and you're right. I mean, you could be one of the best fighters about, but if you don't have the personality to back it up, people love to see a fight, but they also love to see someone with that confidence, that, bordering on arrogance, and sometimes people love to hate you. Sometimes people love to love you. And I'd love to see people come to the forefront into the tryouts that have got a bit of, swagger about them.
Yeah. I think it's not, do you know what? We don't know with bare knuckle. Like, there's so many people that have gone into bare knuckle with people that can fight, people who can't fight. And you really don't know who's built for bare knuckle. You don't know yourself until you've actually gone in there and fought. Now, I just happen to be fucking really good at it. Like, and when people say it to me, like people do say it to me, they go, you know what? Like, you're a good boxer, cunt. Like, you could be a really good pro, but you're just really good at bare knuckle. And it's completely different to glove boxing and MMA, etc. like that. It's just, when you're in there if you're going to be good or not. I mean, I never know how good I am until I come out the fight and watch it. Like, I'll think I'm shit through the rounds. I'm thinking, I bet look shit. And then I watch it back and everyone's going, oh my God, you look fucking unbelievable. But that's when, like, you know what I mean? That's your sport. And this is what these lads and lasses need to do. They need to come in and realise it's their sport. Talk the talk and walk the walk, like I say. And they'll never understand that until they get in there. So it's a perfect thing for BKFC to be offering tryouts, to be offering the fact that they don't have to sign a contract. You know what I mean? This is about, getting wet and finding out whether or not you like it in the rain. Because at the end of the day, like, there's other said companies in the UK now that are offering 3-year contracts that you're tied down to. So if you wanted to try a bare knuckle fight out, you'd have to sign a 3-year contract and you couldn't go anywhere else. With BKFC UK Prospect Show, we're offering a chance to guys and girls to fight on a prospect show in the hope of maybe being scouted. And if they do get scouted, maybe they want to jump on, maybe they want to jump off, maybe they want to go somewhere. It doesn't matter. But you've cut your teeth on BKFC.
Yeah, definitely. And, to be able to perform on that global scale, on a global platform, look, if you don't get the contract this time, there's nothing to say that you won't get used on the next prospect show to earn your opportunity again,
Yeah, of course. And like I say, we never know how our first bare knuckle fight's going to be. There's a lot of fucking bullshitters as well in the world that'll say, yeah, I've had loads of fights on the street. Mate, no one's had there's hardly anyone that's had a proper fight on the street like they've had a bare knuckle fight. It's bollocks. Do you know what I mean?
It's totally different.
I genuinely had maybe 2 or 3 scuffles in the street, nothing like a bare knuckle fight. And I remember jumping in the ring for the first time in my bare knuckle fight and really didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what to expect at all. And it really shocked me when I hit Johnny Lawson for the first time, bare knuckle, when I hit him. And I was just like, fucking hell, the shock went through my bones, through my knuckles, up my elbow. And I remember thinking, this is different. This is really different. Getting punched is completely different. The distance, the blocking, you can't block, you can't sit on the ropes, you can't do nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's them knuckles just pierce through everything. So it's really interesting, with bare knuckle, where how many people that are actually get into this game and stay in this game. And that, like we said, like, these UK tryouts are perfect for people that want to get you know what I mean? Want to come into it, you know what I mean? Get stuck in and see how they feel, and whether or not they want to stay on, you know what I mean, or they get scouted. That's down the line. But for now, I just think it's a perfect opportunity to start getting on these tryouts and start getting on, the biggest bare knuckle platform in the world.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see some, MMA guys or boxing guys and things like that to, make that transition like they have in America. A lot of the UFC fighters are coming over and giving it a go, maybe towards the end of the UFC career kind of thing. But I mean, we've got like Cage Warriors and, loads of different promotions over here. And I'd love to see them take that risk and opportunity because this game is ready for someone, to walk into it, male and female. The divisions aren't, they're not stacked yet. Obviously, it's building. It's a growing sport. But right now is an opportunity for someone to become, a global superstar. Really, isn't it? And a household name. take over the game.
I recorded. We'd been filming a documentary for about a year on the build up to Joe Almore, and in my documentary, at the start of it, I want to be the first ever global superstar. Now, a global superstar, obviously, Mike Perry's a global superstar, but Mike Perry's not a bare knuckle born fighter. You know what I mean? Mike Perry was a superstar in UFC, so in order to be the first ever bare knuckle superstar, like that takes a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what these guys need to aspire to. You want to be in a sense the next Conor McGregor of the sport, the next Tyson Fury of the sport. You know what I mean? You want to be that guy where people only know you for bare knuckle. Like for me, I got a lot for bare knuckle to thank, mate. Like I'm massively popular in Birmingham. I go out on nights out. I'm getting stopped for pictures and stuff. Like my missus can't believe it when we go out. Like she's like, we go out for food and people are stopping me all the time. We got what's it like on nights out? Constantly, mate. Like it's like being a celebrity in my hometown. It's mental. Always saying to me, "You got to fight in Birmingham. You've got to come to Birmingham." I'm like, if it was in Birmingham, mate, I could do 1,000 tickets. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. And it's like when you get that. It took me a while, like 4 years. You know what I mean? Injuries and that having out with broken hands and stuff. But when you look at, you know what I mean, the possibilities, they are endless in bare knuckle. Like you said, the divisions are not stacked. The sport's still relatively new. Like we are waiting for, you know what I mean? People are still sitting back and waiting for this next bare knuckle star to come through that was born in bare knuckle, and that's it's yet to be done yet.
Yeah, 100%. And like I say, the female division, you know, there's pretty much only Mel Shah over here.
Yeah.
Obviously from your neck of the woods, and I mean, she's a warrior, isn't she? She's as tough as they come.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some more females. Women bring violence, and that's just fact, isn't it? You know what I mean? They do, and I'd love to see more females get into the sport.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good for females to get into the sport. It's just in England, like people don't understand. It's like America, right? The roster's ridiculous in America, right? But also, America's like 500 times the size of the UK.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna have as many fighters. I mean, we still got some of the, you know what I mean? Like you've got to take the hat off to England. Like it's got some of the best fighters in the world still. You know what I mean? But like USA are always gonna have loads and loads of female fighters. Because to be fair, mate, Americans are just fucking batshit crazy. They're just psychopaths, man. Like I love them. I do. All the Yanks that I thought have just got something wrong with them, man. They've just got screw loose. I think they're all born with something wrong with them. You know, like, you know, people say Irish are hard. Like, mate, that's just a myth. Like, no one's hard, but like, them fuckers are the toughest people that I've fought. I've fought Irish, I've fought Scottish and Welsh lads in the amateurs, but I've fought Americans, and I just feel like they're the toughest lads ever. They're just fucking nails, man. They don't go down. Every fighter that I've fought, Riggs, Elmore, and Lindsay, all three of them are fucking solid fighters, man. Tough lads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mad.
100%.
They don't
Some
give
of the
up.
best. Some of the best. I mean, I think Lindsay's in line for a title shot now, isn't he? And
Yeah, it should be a rematch, me and him, realistically.
yeah, after the 13 count.
What annoys me, it was a 14 count, and I don't know if you've seen this on the podcast with Lou, but when I was in Dublin and I fought Keane Cowley, ISK was there, Paul Nichols, and me and Paul Nichols had a chat, and I said to Paul, hand on heart, mate, I need to ask you a question. He said, I think I know what you're going to ask me. I said, when I knocked Jake Lindsay down, was the count long? And he just went, yeah, the count was too long, and we've had a word about Chris Bachador about it, and it won't happen again.
Yeah.
So,
it was me and you. I showed you the video when we got back to the hotel, and you know, we counted it
over,
out.
Mate, it was over. Like, even when he got up, mate, he wobbled back. Like, it would have been stopped. Like, I don't know how Chris Bachador let him have that much time. Like, it was mental. Like, he was down for like 6 seconds, and Bachador started counting at 3. Like, he was like 3, 4. Mate, Jake Lindsay was fucked. But like, I could easily contest it with Dave. Even Dave Feldman commented and said it shouldn't have been a stoppage and all that. Like, but I'm pretty sure I can have a conversation with Dave anyway soon and try and work out what's next for me. But I don't think I'm too far away from getting a title shot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not if I controversially beat Jake Lindsay no, controversially lost to Jake Lindsay, and Jake's fighting for a title already after he's lost his. Do you know what I mean? If he's lost a fight for the title and now he's fighting for it again, because I know Gogo's been stripped because he's gone to karate combat.
Yeah, so I mean, it's open for offers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, to be fair.
I mean, you're saying there you got itchy knuckles as well. You want to get back out there. When do you think we'll see it again?
February, March.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna aim for that. Training, keeping the weight down. I'm just I feel good, and I want to fight. Like I've got one fight left on my contract as well. So I signed a BKFC contract in August 2021. It's mad. These guys weren't even on the team when I signed the contract. I was at my first debut BKB fight in 2019 in January, so just a month after 2018.
Yeah,
and I've got lads that have had 2 fights in 2023 calling me out.
Yeah, obviously I got that interview with Johnny Graham, and he was saying that he'd like to meet you in the ring. I've seen your post as well that you put out.
I think, yeah. To be honest, like I don't blame him. I called people out when I was at the bottom of the table and I wanted a big fight, and I can understand. Like, mate, you want my honest opinion? He's not 165 pound. He could come up and fight. I'd never drop down to that level. Not saying he's at a bad level, but I'd never take 5 steps back to go fight people that are calling it. Like, I'm just going to ignore it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but fair play to him. He's a good kid. And, if he keeps on winning and he gets the right fights and that and works his way up, if I'm still there, you know what I mean? When he works his way up, then obviously that fight can happen. But it's a long way to go. Same with a lot of them, to be fair. Like, there's a lot of them, like, they'll have 1 or 2 wins and they're calling me out. I don't know that Paul Cook, but I seen someone sent me a comment, like someone commented on his page, like it's Conatini next defo, and I was just like, mate, these guys have had like 1 or 2 wins, and they're having wins against unranked opponents that have not had any wins themselves, and it's just like, well, you can't just come, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I worked my way to the top. My last fight was for a world title eliminator. Like, I am top 5, like, regardless of their rankings of BKFC. I like Brian Duran, mate, but he's never been to 165 and he's ranked 5th.
But that's it. You're an established name within the sport,
Yeah.
In and out of the BKFC, and your reach is far greater than just Birmingham. I mean, I know you were getting recognised even when you were going abroad and things, weren't you, on holiday?
Yeah.
You are one of the biggest names out there, to call out, and I can understand as well why Johnny would want that fight, because personally, I think it'd be a great fight. Great, it wouldn't just be a stand and bang, it'd be tactical. And
do you know what though? Everyone can say it'll be a great fight, but it's bare knuckle. Every fight's a great fight. If you've got something about you and you're decent, every fight's a great fight. Like, do you know what I mean? Like people will go, oh, yeah, but you got to admit that'll be a great fight. And they'll be like, yeah, it will be a great fight. Like, but there's plenty of other welterweights that are below Johnny that'll be a great fight too. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's bare knuckle. Like, every fight could be a good fight regardless. He just takes 1 punch a lot of the time. So ideally, like, obviously a lot of people are going to call me out because of my popularity now as well, like in the sport. Like, it is what it is, but that makes me happy because that just makes me realise that when the days when I used to box for BKB and I used to be like bottom of the pack and I used to want to fight Jimmy Sweeney and that, and they'd be like, nah, fuck you. Like, you ain't fighting you. And I used to be like, oh, I want to be at that level. And now I'm at that level. Do you know what I mean? So I respect it, to be fair, and appreciate it really, because it's a bit of an ego boost.
Well, you're doing something right then, aren't you? If you're the name that's being called, then you're definitely doing something right.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, as well, like you said before, you touched on you fought over in Ireland on Kingpin as well, and then is that something that you still want to do going forward as well, doing some glove fights?
Yeah. Because it's, for me, like, I don't know if you see my story about realising the maturity when you go forward with a business brain instead of a fighting brain.
I did.
And a lot of these fighters, a lot of them, mate, 95% of the roster in the BKFC UK and BKFC America are just not clued up like I am. I'm a businessman. I'm a quantity surveyor. Do you know what I mean? I'm academically like knowledgeable. I know business. I know how to make money. I know what brand recognition is. Profile building. And a lot of these lads don't understand that. They'll be taking short notice fights on 2-3 weeks notice and risking a loss on the record that could take them 2-3 steps back. You know what I mean? And this all works with the way I think. You know what I mean? I plan everything strategically. Not about cherry picking fights. I don't do that because the fights that I want are the top five. Like I want Carlos Trinidad Snake or a Jake Lindsay rematch. Do you know what I mean? Or Rico Franco if that fight's down the line. Like I'd love that rematch again. But you have to think strategically at your path. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the lads can't think that way. So that always helps with brand recognition. So I look at misfits and stuff like that, and I'm like, right, that's a good move for me again now because you bring. When I fought on Kingpin, they announced me as the fucking one of the best pound for pound bare knuckle fighters in the country, and then they announced me as ranked number 6 in the world. Now, to all the YouTube fans and stuff, they're like, "Wow, fucking hell! I'll have a look at that." And I had loads of YouTube kids like messaging me and stuff and getting in touch. Now that just builds the profile and raises raises brand recognition for Brumtown Bomber. Now Brumtown Bomber is becoming a bit of a brand and it's known quite in quite a lot of places. So the Misfits thing is perfect because you finish my contract. I finished my contract at BKFC. I got on Misfits. I create a lot of noise. I create a lot of stir, and in 2 fights in when I'm fucking big and Mike Perry's knocking on me, you know what I mean, involved in that, I could call Mike Perry out. And that fight could be possibly Misfits. Now, if I beat him in Misfits and I turn around and go, okay, let's rematch on BKFC, that can happen. Like, I'm sorry, anyone from the UK calling out Mike Perry now or Eddie Alvarez ain't got a prayer of getting them fights. It's just simple as that. And that's, again, a business brain. Like, Dave Feldman doesn't give a fuck about any of us fighting any of the big shots until we're renowned for ourselves. There's no names in the UK now that can actually secure them fights. But I know if you take the right steps and you make the right choices and put yourself in the right position, that them opportunities can come and make them possible. But this is what a lot of fighters don't understand. You've got to be able to build your brand and do things right.
Yeah, absolutely. Brand recognition. I always say to, some of the fighters and things, your social media is so important in this game. You need to, your stories are on every day, whether or not you want to or you can't be asked, whether it's a picture of you, doing whatever in the gym or in the car on the way home.
Yeah.
You're active every day.
It's tiring, mate.
It becomes a full-time job.
Yeah, I'm with OnlyFans as well now. I signed the fucking 12-month deal with them. Well, it's been over a year now. I'm nearly finished my contract. I'm looking to renegotiate. And they paid me good money, like big money, almost like a year's salary for a lot of people on a good wage. And because of OnlyFans, I have to keep my account active. Like I can't deactivate. I used to like deactivating. I used to like taking a break. So it is tiring because I'd like to just deactivate from Instagram for a month sometimes and just not have to bother with fucking answering to people or telling them when I think I'm going to fight next. So it's mentally draining, this sport is. And the fact that you've got to post stories and the fact that you've got to train. Because as soon as you start, like, I've gone off the rails a bit where I've been on the piss and stuff a lot. Because, you know what I mean? And then I've started posting stories of being out a lot of the time. And I've watched my following just start dropping, losing hundreds of followers. Because people are like, fuck this kid, he ain't really going to fight again. I'm only following him for the fighting. But I keep my stories up and going, my training videos. Sometimes I get like 9,000-10,000 views on the stories. Sometimes I get like 2,500, 3,000 at an average. But it still sees that people want to watch. You know what I mean? Still people are tuning in to see what's next.
Yeah, and it's one of the things I admire about you, and I've told you this as well. You're not scared to show your vulnerability when you're not feeling too great. In your mind and things like that, and you push through, you push forward, and like I say, it's one of the things I admire about you, to be honest. So
thank you. Yeah,
it's not easy. It's not easy showing vulnerability and showing that fuck it, I am just a normal lad. I am just a normal guy. I can do what I can do, in and out of the ring. But sometimes I just want to be left alone, almost, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Like I love being I call it the people's champion. I love people seeing me out when I go to the Blues. I love people seeing me in raves, you know what I mean, when I'm like having a good time. And I love people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, what are you fucking doing here, man? Like, what are you doing this and what are you doing that?" And it's just like, I love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, people realise that I'm fucking I'm genuine. I'm original. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I don't think I'm any better than anyone else. Anyone else. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just flicking through some comments there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, for you to show that, and put yourself out there and show that side of you. A lot of people don't. A lot of people just post on social media how good everything is.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do.
but I like when I don't like you being sad or
Yeah.
anything like that. You know what I mean? But I like showing your vulnerability and showing that you're just a normal lad.
Yeah, of
Because
course. You gotta be you gotta be real though. This is the thing. Like, we all put in a facade. We've all got an ego. You know what I mean? Some egos are bigger than others, but you've also got to let the fans and the friends and the family know that you can let your guard down and let people see your vulnerability. It doesn't mean you're fucking gonna lose your fights or it's a weakness. You know what I mean? It's a strength more than
it's a
anything because
strength, absolutely.
it shows that you can you know what I mean? You're not afraid to let your emotions out, and that's one thing. I can be quite an emotional person, to be fair. I'm very like cold hearted at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm very like independent. Like, I could just get on with my life. I could live on my own in a fucking trailer for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Hunting fucking pheasants and shit and eating feeding like that for the rest of my life without any
Fishing.
contact. I'd never want to do that because
Yeah,
I like being around people. But do you know what I mean? But also, I express my vulnerability when I'm feeling down and I'm feeling shit. Do you know what I mean? But so people relate to it. And a lot of people always say to me, they always go, "Oh, you know what? Fair play, Con. You always speak out about when you're down, or you're never scared. Like, you always update people on what's going on." Like, I'll turn around and go, "Look, I've had a shit couple of weeks. I felt shit. I felt low." You know what I mean? But I want to do that because I know there's people out there that feel like that need to look at me and think, "Fuck me, he's a fucking bare knuckle fighter." That's talking out loud about that
yeah.
stuff, and that always helps a lot of people.
It's an inspiration to many, and I hope it continues. And your platform's just going to keep growing and growing. You're just going to keep getting better and better. I can't wait
Yeah,
to see you get in the squared circle again.
I know.
Obviously, you're saying there it's going to be coming to your last fight on your contract. Is it talks of renegotiating a new contract?
Nah, I don't want to renegotiate a contract. I want to stay with BKFC, but I don't want to renegotiate a contract till after my last fight because I need this fight for me is my bargaining tool. So it has to be a good fight. It has to be a good performance. I can't go in off the basis. I can't negotiate a contract off the back of a loss. Like, that's not me. Like I said, like, I think with a business brain, mate, and straight away I'm like, right, I need a fucking big win. Like, when I smoked rigs in New York, the amount of publicity I got for that was ridiculous. I need to be back on top, you know what I mean? I need people to be realising that I'm the best thing from the UK at 165, you know what I mean? I need people to be talking about they want me back, they want me fighting for titles again. So it's quiet at the moment. So renegotiations, I'll only want to really negotiate my contract when I finish my last fight.
Yeah. Will that fight be happening in the UK, or do you think you'll be going over to America for it?
It has to be, but do you know, like, I'll speak to Dave, but it has to be Birmingham, otherwise America, because I don't really want to fight in Milton Keynes or Leeds. I don't. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me. Yerakaya could be a main event, etc., X, Y, and Z, but look, I signed the BKFC an American contract. Only me, James Lilley, and Mick Terrell signed American contracts to fight in America. I fought in America once. I fought in the UK twice. I felt like I'm owed a little bit to fight in America for my last fight, preferably Miami, because that's all I've dreamed about is fighting in Miami. James
Yeah.
Lilley's a fucking lucky bastard. Got to go everywhere, man. We've been to fucking Orlando, Miami, and I think it was
Was
I
it Salt
can't
Lake
remember.
City?
He fought at Bobby Taylor there. I can't remember what it. New Orleans, that's it. I think New Orleans.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, so like that, he's living the life that when I saw on BKFC, that's all it was about, was bridging the American market. I done it, but then I got like just sort of offset back in the UK. So yeah, for me, I think my last fight, I want it to be in America, special.
Yeah, and obviously now, it's sanctioned in pretty much every state as of
Yeah,
2024, I think, isn't it? So, I
yeah,
mean, the opportunity to fight in, Madison Square Garden or in
Vegas.
Vegas and things like
Yeah,
that,
I know.
yeah, it'd be unreal. What a dream! What a dream!
I know, it'd be amazing, mate. Be amazing. But like say, like, you just gotta say, I'm gonna obviously hopefully have the conversation with Dave Feldman, and he's supposed to fucking ring me a couple of weeks ago, but he had the press conference and stuff coming up for the Perry
Bill
Alvarez, and
Perry.
I'm not. whenever he's dealing, whenever there's a fight week, I always stay away from ringing him because he'll always be like, "My man, I'll call you back," and never get a call back. And then he'll just like, "You gotta get him." I've known this with Dave now for a couple of years. You've got to get him at the right time. So you've got to just check now and then on WhatsApp when he's online. And when he's online, you text him and go, "You free for a call?" He'll go, "Yeah, my man, just call me." And then I'll call him. But like if you catch him where he's not busy, mate, he won't text you back. He texts you back, he'll go, "Yeah, not free. Call you in a couple of days," and you just know you're gonna have to just recall him another time.
It must be hard. I mean, I think I seen there was something today. There was an article about entrepreneurs to look out for in 2024, and he was right up there in the top 5, I think.
Yeah, like I say, mate, I sent him a WhatsApp about 2 days ago, and he hasn't read it, he hasn't opened it, and that's because I know his WhatsApp must be absolutely booming, like constantly got messages. So it's like roulette with Dave. You just sort of like I flick on his name now on WhatsApp, and if he's not online, I won't bother texting him. He wasn't online the other day when I texted him like a div, so I'll have to wait again now. Wait until he comes online. I always check around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's normally when he's probably just getting up and he's checking his WhatsApp.
Yeah.
As soon as he's online, mate, I punch you over a text and like that. When you gonna call me then? And then get it sorted.
You had a bit of trouble with Kingpin, didn't you? After you fought on that, and there was a bit of chew about getting paid and things like that. You threatened to take them to court, but they finally paid up as well.
They paid me, because I took them. I issued the claim to take them to court, and they had 14 days. Then they extended the claim. Then they tried to give me an ultimatum about paying me 50% and saying that's all they've got. They've got no money. And mate, I had the flu, and the last day of the contract, of the last day of the claim, I had to respond by, right? Bearing in mind, I've done this before. I've responded back to BKB when they took me to court. You have to respond with either a response from a lawyer, or you have to respond and pay the claim. And they paid me 3 o'clock, mate, an hour before. They fully paid me the full amount, and they put on the claim, the cheeky bastards. We didn't have a contract with him. All right, mate, you still paid me, so fuck off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I won, mate, which is good. It's a nice big fucking chunk of money before Christmas, which helps.
Yeah. I think, going down the fight management line and things, I've seen bits of posts and things like that. I mean, you manage yourself.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot to offer, a lot of experience to offer other fighters as well, and I think that'd be a great move for you.
Yeah, that's it. It's the same as what I'll say to the lads at the tryouts, like, just there's a whole lot more to being a fighter in BKFC. It's not just fighting. It's not just winning fights, or it's the whole. You've got to be the whole package. You've got to be marketable. You've got to be likable. You've got to be hateable at times, and you've got to be able to fight.
Yeah,
and that's exactly the people that I'll be managing would be just on the case. Like, social media presence has to be lively. Twitter, Facebook, even LinkedIn. I see a lot of, you go on LinkedIn, mate. I'm on LinkedIn as a QS, but there's a lot of pro boxers on LinkedIn. Loads of world champions and that, all reaching out for sponsors. Perfect opportunity to do it, don't you know what I mean? But a lot of the fighters just, they don't understand. Like, it's a shame. Like, my mate Johnny, he's fucking unbelievable. Like, you know what I mean? Johnny was great. Fought at Wembley on the BKFC show and stuff when it was first out. But he just never has a social media presence. So he doesn't care. Like, he's not bothered. Just a good fighter. But it's a shame because it doesn't matter how good they are. They're never wanted on shows.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's right.
Lou Fuse calling us there.
Should be watching, lazy fucker.
Yeah. Why aren't you watching, Lou?
Again?
Why aren't you watching?
Watching what?
I'm on with Conatini right now. Do you want to say hello?
Hi, people.
I can't believe you fucking ignored my podcast, man.
Connor's saying I can't believe you're not even watching.
Yeah, I'm watching calling fucking just got me.
I'll call you back.
I'm not answering your calls, mate.
I'll call you back after this, pal.
I want to see if you're telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth.
Let me see.
Oh, you mean you've missed?
Hey, don't fucking come on here 35 minutes in and start stealing the fucking limelight, son.
He's some man, isn't he? I love Lou.
Yeah.
A lot of time
Yeah,
for
he's
him.
a great guy, man.
There's a question in the comments there as well about and Rick Doherty is a big supporter of the podcast. You just kind of think of bring out the fuse in the red corner.
I ain't even answering, mate. I ain't even answering.
There he is. Oh, he's watching. Thanks for tuning in, pal.
Yeah. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, top lad. I know you're very close to Lou. You speak to him most days. I speak to him every day and things. And
I speak to Lou a lot, man. He's a lovely kid.
Yeah, he is,
I keep
definitely.
saying kid, mate. I keep forgetting he's a fucking man. I just call everyone kid. Sorry, mate. So, you know, when someone calls you Bab, all right, Bab, calm down. Yeah, he's a good Bab. Good little Bab.
Mick Terrell's fight coming up as well in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I'm excited
Can't wait
for that.
for
I have to wait. That's one I'll wake up for, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Well, it'll be down in London. Obviously, it's the 2nd of December, the same day as the tryouts.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I thought you said Mick will be down then. I was like, what? Why would he be down there? He was fighting.
Yeah. It's fights the same day as the tryouts.
The third, isn't it?
Is Mick's the 3rd? I thought it was the same night. But with the time difference, it might be the 3rd.
Yeah. No. Is theirs on a Friday or a Saturday?
Saturday, I think.
Yeah, nah. It's the same day. Then they'll be fighting on the night because the tryouts are on the Saturday, aren't they? Yeah. Sound.
Good stuff. Question in the comments for you there from Robert Connor. Connor, what would you say is the most difficult thing about increasing your social media presence?
It's about your personality on social media and what people want to see from you. And Instagram's got an algorithm, so the algorithm, what you do and what you choose to do, has to be attractive. Now, I'll post a reel on the bag, and I'll look sharp and fast, right? And I can't wait to come back, and I'll get like 7,500 views and like about 400 likes. But then I'll post a clip of fighting, and then I'll get like fucking 20,000-30,000 views. Like, it's mental, mate. Like, it's what Instagram wants to see. So the difficulty is knowing what your brand, you know what I mean, what needs to be associated with the brand and how to do things. So promoting yourself on Instagram's hard. And Facebook's a little bit easier, to be fair. It's a little bit more accessible with sharing and stuff like and exposing the posts. But yeah, Instagram's a little bit more. I feel like people are a little bit more stuck up on Instagram. Like, they don't want to share a post as they would share one on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like it's typical to share a post on Facebook, but it's not. It's like uncommon for people to share other people's shit on Instagram story, unless you're a fucking famous celebrity who's having a birthday and they'll say happy birthday, Kim Kardashian, even though Kim Kardashian gives absolutely no fuck about you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's embarrassing. But like social media, like pushing yourself and increasing that social media presence is difficult. You've just got to find what people want to look at your page for.
Yeah, and it's activity as well, and being active, like we were saying before. Being constant with it, not just putting something on and then leaving it for a week. You know, even if you don't feel like it that day, you still got to put something up just to keep it going, haven't you?
Big Nick, my pal from Nottingham, right? He's a massive presence, right? And he started off, right, just doing rants. So when I used to rant a lot, in my car journeys on the way to work. Yeah, people used to love it. I used to get loads and loads of traffic on my stories and messages. Now, Nick used to do the same. Like, that's what you need to be. Like, you need to have that character about you. Come out the shop if the shopkeeper shortchange you. You fucking cheeky bastard, shortchanging me. Don't you know it's fucking, you know what I mean? Don't you know there's a fucking recession on the way? Bosh! And then, like, he'd put the phone and then, like, the phone would go off. Like, people loved it, do you know what I mean? Or be walking on the street. If you see someone like a crackhead on the floor, you just poke your phone out the window and be like, and go, fucking hell, should have went out there and hit him. It's an easy win for me. I've lost 2 this year. People love that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got to have a little bit of comedy to you, and that's how you've just got to know what people are watching your profile, who people are following you for. And they're following you because they want to see pictures of you fucking walking a dog in the park because they will love your dog more than you and you're a boring cunt. Or they're following you because they you know what I mean? Because you're a funny cunt. And you fucking, you know what I mean? You promote your fights and you know, you're just a bit of a nutter. And that's what people forget as well. When you're fighting bare knuckle, you're classed as a bit of a nutcase. Oh, you must be a nutcase. Be a nutcase. Purposely be one. Do you know what I mean? Walk
It's
out the house, raise your fist to the postman, and then film it. And then when he goes, I'm only joking, mate. I'm a bare knuckle fighter, and laugh and walk off. Do you know what I mean? He'll be shocked. People will be like, "What the fuck you doing, mate? You're a wanker." Some people will think you're funny. Some people will hate you. But there you go. There's where the traffic comes.
Yeah, it's the persona as well, isn't it? You know, like you say, the ego and things like that. But it's that thing that you can't put your finger on. Or they say the X factor, isn't it? You know, that wow factor. It's having
Wow factor.
having that little something extra about yourself that you've got. You know.
Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that. Like that, it's pizzazz, and it that little bit of pizzazz. Like
Yeah.
you gotta be able to turn it on. But yeah, man.
Yeah. What did you think of the BKFC 55?
Thought it was a good card. I was really, really like gutted for Danny. Obviously, I like Danny. Close with Danny, and I was gutted about that fight, but something weren't right. Something weren't right at all, man. Like when he was getting dropped that easy, like okay, yeah, I know Jared can bang a bit, but nah, he was getting dropped too easy, and you could see it in his face, like when he was getting up, he just looked like he was off. And I'd heard like rumors, etc., that I don't want to go into because it's other people's business, but I'd heard like things about his camp and that he wasn't in. You know what I mean? His head wasn't in it, and sometimes it takes a loss for us to take a step back to realise where we need to be and where we need to go. I commented on his thing and I just said sometimes a loss. You know what I mean? If you, I always used to say if you learn from your wins and from your losses, it always makes you a better fighter. And a lot of people don't learn from their wins, and they'll never learn for the losses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes that kills you a bit when you have a bad loss. It can either make you or break you. So I'll be intrigued to see what his next step is. I understand. Like I'm not gonna bother him, and I think a lot of people ain't gonna be able to get in touch with him because he's gonna want his personal space. You know what I mean? You know, he's got a lovely missus and a family, and he just probably wants to chill out. You know what I mean? And take some time because again, he set a precedent for having to be on YouTube and update the world just like myself. You know what I mean? To what he's doing. So probably nice for him to take a back seat. You know what I mean? And have a break away from it all for a bit.
Yeah, definitely. No, I wish him the very best of luck. I've left him alone this week. I might dip round and see him on Sunday for a cup of tea and that if he's about. But see what happens. Yeah, something wasn't right, and I don't know if it was the whole Southpaw thing as well. Because for me, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying, it looked like he got caught out of position a couple of times. He wasn't keeping his lead foot on the outside.
I think it's the same as when I told him with the Anthony Holmes fight. Like, I just was bluntly honest. Like I said, look, you done well to beat Holmes. Not saying you done well because I knew he was going to beat Holmes anyway. I just knew he was a stronger, tougher man, and he's got a higher work rate. But I said you made it harder. Like you were rushing too much and falling in on your work, like instead of just working your way in with a jab. But to be fair, it was like that's what your game plan was, to just rush him in. But I felt like he'd done that a bit on the Jared Warren fight, and I don't think Jared Warren's a fighter you can rush. And you could see he rushed it a little bit, and like he grappled him and stuff and fell over. And then when he just walked into that shot and got caught, it's like there was no sort of thinking. Do you know what I mean? You have to think the IQ. Like you could just tell something weren't right. Like he wasn't thinking about what was next. He wasn't analysing what was in front of him and what the next move Jared was taking. And when Jared caught him with that, walking in with that shot, he shouldn't have got caught with that again, but he did again. Do you know what I mean? Like you could just see, mate, from the get go, like something weren't going on right.
Yeah, I'm sure if he'd got out the first round and got back to his corner, Wayne, his coach, his corner man, is unbelievable at breaking down a fighter. Right, this is what you need to do, and but Danny listens to Wayne and goes out there and does it as well. It's a shame. It's a shame because it could have been a totally different fight.
Well, look, it all depends on what Danny wants to do if he comes back. I don't blame him if he wants to retire. I don't blame him if he wants to carry on. Like that's completely up to him now. And it's listen, at the end of the day, and I said it to him on his comment on his thing. So what he's done in the space of 4 fights with BKFC is more than what a lot of people have done in their careers. Yeah. You know, Wembley, smashing Wembley. Smashing Holmes and taking the UK title. Then fighting Jared Warren in what we know was a world title eliminator. At the end of the day, he's done a lot more than most. So you got to respect it.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Pal. Well, I don't think James Lilley's coming on by the looks of things. He must
Yeah.
still be at the Christmas fair with his kids, but maybe next time. But it's been great speaking to you, pal.
Yeah, brilliant, mate.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we get that show down in Birmingham at some point. You'll be the main event.
Fucking hopefully, mate.
Yeah, can't wait. I'll let you get off to bed.
Sound. Yeah, I'm
in
gonna
the
go
morning.
straight to sleep now, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Sound.
The Brum Town Bonner, ladies and gents. Thanks very much, Connor. Cheers.
Sound, pal. See you in a bit, mate. Ciao,
See you
ciao.
later. Top man, Connor Tini. Talks a lot of sense. I like his business brain as well that he talks about as well. Big shout out to all you in the comments. Rick Doherty, Winwood Media, Adam, nice to see you, pal. James Foster, great to see you down at the show as well the other night. Who else we got? The Fuse coming in late, but thanks for tuning in, pal. Appreciate it. Robert Connor, thank you very much. Some good questions from Robert Connor there. And I'll see you all soon, no doubt. Big shout out to I've got the right sleeve this time. Violent Gentleman for the t-shirt, appreciate it. BKFC Tryouts, go and register. It's scrolling along the bottom now. If you think you've got what it takes, it's going to be some do. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of people down there, obviously hosted by Connor Tini, James Lilley. Ty Emery's going to be down there as well. And Mel Shah's going to be down there. So some top lads and lasses. Obviously, it'd be great to get some more females, get this female division stacked. This is my first time watching your podcast. I loved it. Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Rick, massive supporter of the podcast, and Lou Fuse, a massive help in the podcast, and a good friend as well. I don't think he'd ever come down to me and him fighting. It doesn't matter how much Rick Dowie asks for it. James at Winwood Media, massive help at the shows. He put a good word in and managed to get me up there in the rafters, interviewing the fighters after the fight and things like that, which I hope you've seen. There's still a few more to come out, but you can keep an eye on the Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, all the social medias. But again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Fans joining us and the millions watching around the world. Out of the Red Korner.
Jab that like button and jab the subscribe button as well while I remember. Cheers, people.